tubular or red iron?
We get that question every single day. So today we're walking through this red iron build and showing you the major difference between both. Welcome backpack. This is Adriel from WolfSteel Buildings, and today we've got an absolute unit of a red iron weld-up building to show y'all. This one's big, bold, and it's really packed with a lot of details that you definitely don't want to miss out. And I'm also here with Ed.
Yes.
How you feeling, bro?
Man.
I know this is Is this the first time you're doing
I believe so.
Like this type of style?
Yeah, this is my first time. So again, if I'm a little nervous, it's because I'm next to the man, the big head wolf right here. So
okay, thank you. I appreciate it.
But no, I'm feeling great. You know, I was able to go to the gym this morning, so I'm feeling very pumped for today's video. But like I mentioned, Adbo, for this one, you weren't able to join me in this tour.
Where was this?
Bedias, Texas. Yes.
Okay. Towards like side of Waco,
yes,
heading towards like Houston area.
Yes, that is correct. It was a beautiful location. The drive up there was amazing. You know, the scenery. Get into the location. It was just trees everywhere, deer. It was a beautiful, beautiful spot. And then also, I was able to meet with the client's father, who was at the location as well.
Okay.
He gave me a little tour of his manufacturing facility where he makes some fire starters out of all the material that he gathers from all the trees and stuff.
Was that facility like next on the same property?
Yes. Well, yeah, it was same property right next to the actual building location where it's at. Very awesome. And then again, we're also gonna put that link down, that Etsy link, where you can support him and support his business, so that you can buy some stuff.
Absolutely. We also say if you're a future client or you're an existing client and we do a YouTube video, we definitely like to support our clients and mention their business. So that's awesome. What is this building going to be used for? Do you remember?
Yes. So as I was talking to the client's father, he said that his daughter was actually going to get married there. So they were going to do like a wedding venue there. So this is awesome. Awesome story we have here.
Is it going to be like a wedding venue future, or is it just going to be more like a storage afterwards?
Yeah, great question. That is a good question. So I think he mentioned it's just going to be for the actual wedding. I don't know if they're going to be actually hosting wedding venues or wedding after that. But I mean, it would be a great business idea. So
it is.
Yes.
And I know metal buildings have been continuously starting to be used, definitely for wedding venues. At least the ones I've gone.
Yes, and now today's video, it isn't just a tour. So I know we've done a couple of tours here past lately, but this one is a full FAQ tour.
Yes.
So I'm gonna be asking you some of these questions that our sales team
Putting
gets.
me on the line like that? Okay.
That our sales team gets all the time. So again, Admiral, I'm gonna give you the chance to provide all the valuable information for our viewers as well.
Okay, perfect. And I know these questions are from mostly from our team, right?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay, we got a giveaway.
That is correct.
And the giveaway marketing help us out. By the time this video is produced, what giveaways do we have? And the question is, what is the correct color name for the panels of this building? At least for the sidewall panels. Drop that answer down below and enter, and then tune in, because next week to find out who is the winner.
Yes. So basically, if you have that answer, you have that question or that answer for the question, you're gonna be entered in our draw that we usually do for our WolfSteel, merch and every giveaway that we do. So tune in for the next video where we're gonna be showcasing the winner of that question. So.
Perfect.
Yes.
Perfect, man. So that's exciting. Aside from that, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Follow us on all our social media channels. And I think we're ready for this FAQ, talking about this specific, beautiful red iron weld-up building.
Yes, let's go. Let's go, Ed.
This is not a drill. All right, Texans, quick question. If someone were to hand you a metal building, what would you use it for? WolfSteel is about to give one away. We are giving away a free 30x40 metal building. Vertical sidings, overhead doors, steel walk-in doors, double pane insulated windows, concrete, and even the side plans included. No gimmicks, no tiny shed. This is one of our biggest giveaways ever. If y'all are interested, make sure you check out our pinned post on our WolfSteel Facebook page to enter. Winner will be announced live on YouTube and all of our social media platforms, so don't miss it.
Alrighty, Admiral, before we dive into the full FAQ of this video, what exactly are we working with here? Give us what the viewers want to see, a full breakdown of this 48x50 red iron weld-up. Tell us.
I know you mentioned 48 wide by 50 foot long, which is about 2,400 square feet, or if I'm not mistaken. But in general, this is an ag style building, or like a barn style. And so basically this is divided into 3 sections. For the main structure, we have a 20 wide, 50 foot long, 20 foot tall. And then from there, we got a step down where we connect 2 lean-tos as wings. We call them like wings.
Yes.
And those lean-tos are the size of 14 wide, 50 foot long. The high side where it's connected is at 14 foot and then drop to 11 foot, 8 inches. Overall, the whole structure is a 48 by 50. This is definitely a red iron weld up building. So it's all welded, fabricated on site with 26 gauge panels, which is a heavier duty panels. 612 pits for the main roof.
Yes, for the main roof, yeah.
And then the colors, wink, wink. The colors is polar white for the roof, colony green for the walls, and the base trim as well.
Yes.
And then burnished slate for the trims.
Yes.
And the gutters and downspouts.
Yes, yes, yes. It's also 25 feet up to the peak.
How
Yes.
did it feel up there?
Oh
Like
man,
a person?
it was insane. Like it was walking like to a castle. I thought I was like, am I a Snow White movie or something? It was like the castle's right there. And then I know you mentioned colors. That definitely make the building pop. You know, I feel like I mentioned it to you. I feel like this building fits this location. So again, but what about the accessories, Adbo? I know this client went with a few accessories that we offer here at WolfSteel. Talk to us a little bit about those accessories.
Absolutely. So in the main structure, which is again the middle, and the reason I'm speaking this way is because if you're interested in a building, this is how you can be on the same page with the salesperson with like the jargon. But the main structure is definitely going to have a 12 by 12 roll-up door in the front. And then it has 8 3 by 3 double pane windows. And those are going right along in between the step down. I know we're going to talk about it, I believe, a little bit more.
Yeah.
And then the lean-to on each side, or is it just one side?
On one side.
One
yes.
side,
Yes,
right? We
yes.
have the 3 10 by 10, and these are roll-up doors, okay? They're roll-up doors. They have their brush seals, nice and sealed. And then we got 2 walk-in steel doors.
Yes.
We also have the 3-inch fiberglass. That's on roof walls of the whole structure, and definitely the foam gap enclosures that help seal it off.
Yes. And now into the FAQs, Adbo, that are, that are again questions that I get from our team, from our sales team, that clients, are always asking, even our viewers are asking as well. So that first question comes from Janice from the Alpha Wolves. So his question is, can we achieve the same barn style look in our tubular buildings as well? And if so, what would be the differences in structure and in price between tubular and red iron?
Shout out to Argenis, and thank you for giving me a really tough question. It's not necessarily tough, it's just I have to break it apart into just explaining it in a very user-friendly way.
Yes.
Okay, so the answer is yes, absolutely yes, we can achieve the same barn-style aesthetic with the tubular building.
Yes.
However, do keep in mind that the trim systems, the engineering constraints, and also like the materials are definitely going to be different. The biggest difference is really going to come down to the framing system. With tubular buildings, the structure is inherently always going to have, we always say this at the job sites, we got the columns every 5 foot, and we're talking about anything 30 foot or wide or less.
Yes.
Anything greater than 32 in a tubular gets a different design, different spacing. In between the middle sector, or the main structure, and then we got the wings, which are the lean-tos,
Yes.
there's gonna be columns.
Perfect.
So having those columns and moving around from one bay to another can be kind of like a nuisance or just challenging to move
Hassle,
around.
yeah.
Hassle, there you go, I like the word.
A little hassle, having to go in through the next section and in and out because you have that base row and then the legs. So yes.
And
correct.
that base row is like a bottom plate in like wood construction. So basically, like if you have like tools or things you're moving around, it's just gonna be a challenge. So the only way around that is through engineering and installing like headers to create certain openings. And I know this project we went to, you went with me, right?
Yes, I was there, yes.
It was actually in the same area.
Yes, about maybe an hour apart. From the actual location in Lexington.
Yes. And then in the inside, if you want to check out that video, our client did do openings to be able to navigate and make it more comfortable. That's the challenge with tubular buildings.
Yes, that is correct. Let's talk about costs. Something that, some clients are always, wondering what are costs? What are the cost differences between where a tubular really shines? So Adbo, talk to us.
Yeah, absolutely. So in general, tubular metal buildings are definitely going to be more cost effective. That's because there's definitely lighter materials, like from 29 gauge standard, and red iron is typically with 26 gauge. It's less labor intensive, especially compared to a weld up. and in many cases, the ability to build without heavy equipment.
Yes.
So that's in general. In this specific build, definitely you still need equipment for such a high main structure. And for red iron buildings, on the other hand, we use heavier framing materials, from I-beams to purlins to 26 gauge panels standard, but it also requires more labor. There's a lot of welding on site, and equipment is usually always needed to erect.
Awesome. So the next question here comes from Ernesto. Again, shout out to Ernie, our sales director, who's been killing it. I love Ernie. I always tell him, like, bro, I love you. So I know you always
love here.
Yeah, a lot of love here.
Bro,
so,
love, by the way.
Bro. So he wants to know is it more cost effective to build something in this X style layout versus doing a full clear span build?
Excellent question, Ernesto, and the short answer is yes, absolutely. So if you wanted to build the same square footage, so this is 2,400 square feet. If you wanted to build it, fully clear span, no interior columns, and I'm just saying, like, say a 48 wide by 50 foot long, but 14 foot tall, clear span, you would basically be paying around 25% to 50% more for the same square footage when it comes down to the building. And here's why that cost jumps, okay? A 48 wide, full clear span cannot be done as a non-engineered weld up for us, okay? Our non-engineered weld ups typically cap out at 40 foot wide. Once we wanna go, push that, we have to go into a pre-engineered red iron bolt up system, which means full structural engineering, heavier steel members. Again, the columns in between allow to distribute a little bit more of the weight, so you don't have to have heavier beams or rafters. More fabrication and coordination, so all that adds more costs, and definitely the engineering is a major cost driver. So when you're going to compare an X style layout to a full, complete, just clear span, the X style layout is just going to be more cost effective because there's going to be less framing, less steel, lower engineering requirements, and more square footage for the same budget.
Yeah, so in other words, again, if your goal is to maximize, usable square footage while controlling that cost, an X-style red iron layout is one of the most smartest ways, again, to stretch your budget.
When you were inside,
yes.
with, how the columns were in there,
yes.
Did they obstruct you a lot, or?
Yes, well, for me, since I was recording in there, I had to work my way around. Yeah. And plus, I'm a very tall person, so I try to watch where I walk. But all jokes aside, yes, they actually they did obstruct me a little bit, because when I was recording, I wanted to not hit anything, right? Yeah. And plus, when I was flying the drone too, I was like, I'll make sure I don't want to hit anything or the columns as well. So
that makes sense. So I mean, at the end of the day, based on needs and uses, if it's worth it to save and have those columns, or is it worth it better to get it all clear? So let's go to the next question, Ed.
Yes. So Admiral, again, this is a question that I came up with, and I was okay, what's some good questions I can ask you?
Okay.
So again, you mentioned that the client.
Shout out to Ed, by the way. Shout out to Ed.
Yes. So again, the client did get the three roll-up doors, the 10 by 10 roll-up doors that look awesome, by the way. So the question I wanted to ask you real quick, Andrew, is so when someone wants large doors on the eave side, like what the client did, does that change the structure at all, or do we have to reinforce anything differently compared to the doors being on the gable end walls?
Yeah, absolutely. Great question. And specifically in general, when someone wants a door end wall,
yes,
an end wall to us is definitely going to be where you got the peak or the rafters. Anything that line is going to be the end wall. Okay, those are non-load bearing walls. So basically what that means is that wall is not there supporting the rafter.
Makes sense.
Okay, so we can definitely put any door, as long as it fits, from the track system, from just having enough clearance, we can move it around, no concerns. Now let's shift over. Let's to sidewalls. For us, sidewalls are typically going to be load bearing walls.
Yes.
Okay, and what that means is the columns that are coming down are actually supporting the roof up top. in this red iron structure, I think our spacing is going to be around like, because for non-engineered weld-ups, our max spacing is 20 foot. We can definitely go up to 30 foot in when we get it engineered and get an engineer involved. But since the client has a 50 foot long, we divided it into 3 spaces, which is 16 foot, 8 inches, I believe. So because the base spacing is 16 foot, 8 inches, we were able to fit the 10 by 10s in between each spacings without having to do any modifications, any headers, any extra engineering. If it was a tubular building, since we have columns every 5 foot spacing, we would have to create openings and then create some header bars to support the roof up top and distribute the load around it. And so all these headers add extra cost and just a little bit more complexity and a little bit more cost to it.
Yeah, that is correct. Again, bottom line, so the large doors on the eave side don't have to be a problem as long as the building, the type and base spacing are designed, you know, correctly. I know you always mention that. And then again, our red irons weld ups make this easy. Again, tubulars require a little bit more workarounds, right? When working with those tubular buildings.
Now, if the client wanted a, you know, put the door in a specific location, then that's where it adds more complexity. So adding doors on your sidewalls can add complexity depending the type of structure. But and your end walls, there's a lot of flexibility. Since when we do our end wall for weld ups or our red iron, the rafters are actually self-supported. I know there are rafters or there are builders out there that actually use the wall to support that rafter, so they use less material. We use it where the end wall rafters are self-supporting. We would take that wall, it doesn't need it. And you can even expand later on in the future.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, because you just keep going. But if you, some other builders use rafters at the end walls for red iron where the columns that are in there are actually supporting it, so you can't really add on afterwards because those that wall is necessary. The columns.
Wow. Again, Advil, this is why I love asking you these questions. You just provide all this knowledge, all this valuable information that I'm sure our clients are going to benefit from this as well, and our viewers as well.
Well, we're trying to give as much knowledge, education, because buying a metal building is not, I mean, it seems so simple, but there's so much to it. And I hope that these videos are just helping you make the best decision for you and for your future of your metal building project.
So next question. So now from Ivan at the Top Dogs, again, who's killing it. Shout out to Ivan. He's been on fire lately, that's for sure. His question is, how is our red iron fabricated compared to our tubular metal buildings? And what's the typical turnaround time for a project like this?
Yeah, shout out to Ivan. I know he's been killing it. Recently started, what, like 6 months ago or something?
Yeah, around there. Man, he's been on fire, so.
He's been on fire.
Shout out Ivan.
And the answer is that these two types of buildings, they follow different process and timelines. Okay, so let's start with tubular buildings, which, by the way, we fabricate our own tubular metal buildings out of Weatherford, Texas. And just to be clear, we're not a dealer. We are the direct builder, which gives us full control over the quality and timelines. Anyways, going back to the prefabrication process, current lead time is for like a tubular building of this would have been like 3 to 5 weeks after concrete, and that's to source the materials, get chava, fabricating, and getting it all ready. And then it would take about 2 to 3 days typically to build it on site, this type of project.
Wow.
But now that's 20 foot tall, it could be 2 to 4 days.
Wow, that's pretty
fast.
That's pretty fast. That's pretty fast.
And I think that's what clients are impressed with tubular structures, is the speed of it.
It's like a Lego piece, Lego set. You just
boom, 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 in like 240. It's like, what the heck? It was just like a piece of a piece of rock, which is the concrete, right? And all of a sudden, it's like it's up.
It's up.
Now let's talk about red iron weld up. So like specifically for this project, these are custom fabricated on site. The I-beams, the purlins, the panels, everything must be like sourced first. And then dropped over there, like shipped there. That's when we get boots on the ground out there. And then we start putting it together, cutting it, fabricating it, welding it. Typically, the sourcing of the materials and getting everything ready is going to be also about 3 to 5 weeks, about the same time. But once we have boots on the ground, The build itself typically takes about 1 week to 2 weeks.
That is
max.
This one took, I believe, from what my research was, it was about a week and a half. Yes.
Week and a half.
Yes.
That makes sense. That makes sense.
I mean, it was a pretty big structure, especially at the peak. So, you know, the welders there had to really, you know, be careful while being on the
up high.
Yeah, up high.
And that's why we need like equipment all the
That is
time.
correct. Yes.
So we definitely, for a weld up like this structure, even the other one, even a tubular, we would have needed it so high.
Yes.
But all weld up, we usually will use scissor lifts to raise really high, and then a sky track or a, what do you call it, a low lift to be able to, you know, lift the columns and have them stable while we are welding.
Yes, that is correct.
We get it. Starting a new metal building project can feel overwhelming with concrete here, installation there, permit somewhere else. At WolfSteel, we can take that headache away. From site prep to the last screw, we bring every service under one roof here in Texas for Texans, so you can have your metal building without the stress. We handle tubular buildings, red iron weld up and bolt up buildings, permitting assistance, full concrete slabs with site prep, plus any demolition if needed. Concrete coating options, various installation options, a gutter system for your building, custom doors, windows, and even cedar accents if you want a more rustic look. You need more, like mezzanines, balconies, or masonry, we got that too. We do not service outside of our service area, nor provide material or kits only, and our services do not stand alone. We focus on full turnkey Texas metal building projects. WolfSteel is the easy choice. Texans, we've got you covered. If you fall within the service area, contact us today. If not, I hope our channel is helpful for your metal building project.
And this next question comes from Roy.
Okay.
From the Ruthless Wolves again. So shout out to Roy. As y'all can see from the B-roll again, this is an X style, you know, building. Has the interior center, has those interior center columns. So Roy's question was once he wants to know, can we remove those interior columns or are they required structurally? I know you mentioned this a little bit earlier in the video. Give us a little bit more insight if we can do that.
Yeah, that's a great question. Shout out to Roy. If you've been watching our channel, Roy's been with us for a long time. He was actually building manager before, and then he wanted to try something new, which was in sales, which I think is phenomenal because he has a lot of experience. The columns there, interior columns, they can definitely be a hassle. So when you're trying to move equipment around or, you know, keep those wide open, columns can definitely get in the way. I know you mentioned that it was a little bit, I mean, 16 foot is so great and it's only an I-beam column, right? Now, if a client wants to remove those interior columns, the answer is yes. It's possible, but the structure itself has to change, okay?
Correct.
To eliminate those interior columns, we would need to get into doing a pre-engineered red iron bolt-up system, which means bringing in a structural engineer, designing the building for a full clear wide span, using heavier members wherein the connections is just different and more reinforced. We can't do it as a non-engineered weld up, and so that's the only way to make that specifically work.
And then another question, again, back to our Janus, and this one's about insulation. I know we get questions about spray foam, fiberglass. So what are the pros and cons of fiberglass compared to spray foam? And that's what the client got here was fiberglass.
Again, with the tough question, I love it, man. I love it. These are the great questions that clients do ask. And so all these questions, by the way, are clients, deeper questions that clients ask. Not just like, hey, you know, well, what's the, what color options, right? I mean, you can find a lot of our warranties. We have a lot of resources on our website. We're going into deeper to answer a lot of the deeper questions. Spray foam versus fiberglass. And one way that we like to do it here in sales is that we like to talk about pros and cons. Everything has its pros and everything has its cons, and it's just about choosing which one's best for you.
That's correct.
So let's talk about the pros for fiberglass. So I know I have the white and black backing. It's super clean. But definitely, I mean, you might see a little wrinkles, but not as much, and overall it's super clean. And I know recently we did the black backing again. We brought it back, and we're now offering it, and it's spectacular.
Oh, insane. I know we have a building in Kerrville, right?
Yes.
But that one's not yet coming out yet, but you're going to want to tune into that one because that one's
it's going to come out after, right?
Yes, very soon, yes.
Keep in mind, a lot of their projects or a lot of videos are probably like coming out 2 or 3 months after or later. So good job, by the way, for for the consistency, and big shout out to Ed for keeping the projects coming. So yeah, that's one of the pros that I love about it. Another thing I really love about fiberglass is like if you ever have to like do maintenance or replace an existing panel, it's much easier compared to spray foam. So since spray foam like bonds with the panel, with fiberglass, it's not bonded, it's just like sandwiched or installed in between the purlins and the sheet panels. So if you wanted to replace a panel, you just take it off and put a new one, slap another one. Another pro is for 3-inch fiberglass, you can get an R value of 10, while 1-inch spray foam, you can get an R value of 7. And another point is, since fiberglass is installed between panels and purlins, this is very deep. It can act as a thermal break to not allow like the outside temperature to transfer or conduct that thermal energy into your purlins. That basically can create condensation. And in spray foam, you actually have to spray foam everything. Depends the size of the purlin. You can get away with it or not, because sometimes some clients don't want the face of the purlins to have spray foam. And so the thermal can transfer over, and then you can have condensation issues.
Makes sense. What about cons? I know that's something, you mentioned there's always cons to something. So what would be that cons, Advil?
So definitely the backing, which is beautiful. At the same time, is still a plastic backing. So if you have like kids running around, or you're working with tools, or you're welding, sparking, it can easily rip up.
That is correct, yes.
So we've had clients do like interior walls. I know we did a project with like panel interior walls up to a certain height. Marketing helped us out because that was spectacular. It's a beautiful building. If you want to watch that video, definitely check it out. The lifespan of closed cell spray foam, again, we only work with closed cell spray foam, which is the only one that you should be bonding with the metal panel. It's definitely going to be longer lifespan than fiberglass. Another con is that you actually have to install the 3-inch fiberglass during the construction of the metal building. With spray foam, you can add spray foam later on.
We do have a video on that as well. So again, marketing, you can help us out. Put in that video down below where they can check out those, pros and cons, the differences between both.
Spray foam and fiberglass. These are my pointers that I thought of and I felt like I wanted to mention. So
that is correct. Next question. The client added windows on the high side, so on the going into that step down, right? Why would someone choose to place those windows there, Adbo, in that position? What are the benefits?
The short answer, savings, real savings. And now we're speaking about like electricity bills. So placing the windows up high like that definitely allows, natural lighting to just flood into the building without like sacrificing wall space also like on your normal walls. Literally. Or at least at your height, you know what I mean?
That is good.
Like in this specific project, we're 20 foot tall. And then the lean-tos connect that 14 foot. So we got a 6 foot step down. And that's enough space to fit those 8 windows, 4 on each side. And these are definitely double pane windows. So they are the good windows. So not the single pane. If you know, we don't offer single pane windows. So they definitely give you, when you close the doors, you definitely get that natural lighting. You can be inside all comfortable during the day. No brainer, something I highly recommend if it's regular windows or even like transom windows. I know we did a project that I'm not sure if it's coming afterwards.
So before.
Oh, it's before? Okay, so it's gonna come out before this?
So if you haven't watched that video, again, we would definitely recommend watching that video because he has some transom windows that,
up top.
They gave a beautiful light inside the building. So very, very, very good building we have there. So again, bottom line, the high windows are a smart design move, and they improved, the daylight, reduce those energy saving costs, and keep your, your walls usable for equipment, storage, or workstations that you would want to do in the future.
Absolutely, and I'm gonna mention something. So in metal buildings, have been offered to do like skylights on the roof, but they tend to not last as long. But the beauty of skylights is that you're getting lighting, but it's on the roof. So we don't really offer it anymore. It requires certain type of to make sure that they last long. So what we highly recommend as an alternative is this option. Put your windows, put some transom windows really up high. Every client that's gotten these type of windows up high has always said, I am so glad I did it.
And one more final question to wrap it up. This one comes from Ivan again. From the
Great.
Top Dogs. He's asking me, you know.
If you're one of our teammates and when we offer to ask questions, this is your time to shine, because the great questions like you guys are asking right now, definitely is making you guys shine. So.
There you go. Great insight right there, Ed.
That's a message for our team, right?
For our team, yes. So he asked me, Ed, what do I think about this color combination? And man, for me, I love it. My green is my favorite color, if you don't know yet. But I love the color green because it's the first color in the Mexican flag. So that's a good, interesting fact why I like the color green. But this one's colony green, and again, it's paired with the burnished slate, and it's a beautiful color combo with the polar white roof, right? It's just beautiful. I really loved visiting this location. It was a beautiful building. Everything was green around it, and why not pair it with a green building like this one?
From the video, it looks really great.
Yeah.
The one I'm waiting for is a colony green with black.
Oh,
yeah, the colony green with black, I've seen it, and it's a phenomenal combination. I'm a huge fan of green. It's my favorite color. I don't know why it's not green.
Right?
But, chose orange.
Awesome. And then again, that's gonna wrap up this awesome FAQ video. Again, thank you, Adbo, for joining me and helping me out with this video, because again, your energy, your guidance always helps me, improve as a better human being every day.
Oh, thank you, man.
Thank you, Adbo. But lastly, go ahead, Adbo, end it off.
By the way, Ed, your energy is phenomenal. It's amazing, and I think that's what our users will definitely love about you a lot. Is your energy is amazing. Every day you come in and you light up the office, and it gets pumped and fired up. So, Ed, thank you again for being on this video as well.
Yes.
Aside from that, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
Yes.
Follow us on all our social media accounts, and we did do the wink for the giveaway.
For the giveaway, that is correct. Again, if you have that answer down below, make sure you leave it down in the comment section. And next week's video, we'll be announcing the winner. Are you going to be it? So I don't know.
Yeah, we're trying to get more cool stuff like some badass hats and stuff like that. So to have more and more giveaways.
And we'll see you in the next one. Ready? Let's go.
What's up, Pack? Remember to stay up to date with everything that we're up to by checking out our social media. You can find us at WolfSteel Buildings for behind the scenes action. We share our latest projects, update on what the team is working on, and all the exciting progress happening in real time. Don't miss out on the action, and remember to give us a follow.